Alright, hey, you guys. What's up? Alright, so this is gonna be short. I know I say this all the time, and most of my videos are totally not short, but I'm seriously gonna make this short. Alright, so I'm going through my music, okay? I've already gone through like four other CD books. And I'm throwing music that I don't need to be listening to in my burn bag to burn. I currently just threw, I think, like three or four shirts in there from concerts I just went to the last like 2 or 3 years. Uh, because man, I've been going back and forth, 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 back and forth for a minute now about these bands. And like I deleted all their videos that I took at the concerts like off my YouTube page over the weekend. Um and so I kind of been like, going back and forth right now looking, and I just happened to find when I was going through here, just happened to find a bunch of CDs that I don't even know where the hell they came from. So I'm thinking that maybe before Manifest Music went out of business a couple years ago, I think I went and bought a whole bunch of music back then. And so that's where I got a bunch of this stuff from. I mean, granted, some of this music came from my friend Matt. He ended up giving me like 7 or 8 like CD books, like for real. Smack full of music. And then the other ones, like these, like if it has like this, like these came from him. And he gave me like full sets of music. And then a couple months after he gave them to me, he's like, man, I wish I would have never done that. I should just set all my stuff on fire. Cause I just basically like gave you my demons, like that wasn't good. And throughout the years, that's what I've been doing. Throughout the years, before I started setting all myself on fire, I had been giving my music to my friends, like huge collections, like all the Red Hot Chili Peppers I got from him, I gave away. And like, I can't even tell you who all I've given stuff to throughout the years, but I mean, it's been a lot of CDs, a lot of CDs. So now I'm at the point where, for the last like 2 years, I've been setting all my stuff on fire because, that's what God told me to do. He told me this is how you cleanse your soul. This is how you start over. This is how, you cleanse yourself with fire. You purify yourself with fire. And since I can't personally set myself on fire, I can at least set my stuff on fire, But anyway, so, alright. So, where's that one? I was looking. Okay, so like this one band right here, Further Seems Forever, never ever heard of it. Just looked it up to see what it was, and it's like some like indie / emo bands, right? But they recorded this. Oh man, I got chocolate on my hand. Hang on. Ugh. Crazy. I was eating chocolate earlier. I split it on myself. Anyway, they came out with this CD, right? And when they made this CD, they released it on to Tooth and Nail Records, which is a Christian record company. Okay, and this was the whole point of me making this live right now. It's like, I don't even get it, dude. I really don't. Like, okay, so if you know that you're Christian people, right, and you're in a band and you make music, but you don't want your music to be labeled as Christian, why are you going to put your music onto a Christian label? Because when you release it to a Christian label, then that makes everybody believe that your music is Christian. But yet you get mad because we think that that's what we're listening. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it irks me so bad, dude. It irks me so bad. Like, I don't even get it. Like, I don't. I mean, I do. I say I don't get it, but I really do. I do understand, because, I think, honestly, I think what it is like, so they want that fame at first, right? They want that fame. because they know if they say they're a Christian artist, then they can make more money, or they got more, or they can get more, like, more people to come out to their shows, you know what I'm saying? But then once they start, like, going on tour, then they're like, oh, wait, I don't really want to be labeled as a Christian artist, so they start to slide away from it, you know? Just like, you know, what's that one band, Need to Breathe? I was all for going to see them last year in concert, right? And then I got wind of one of their interviews they did with somebody, and somebody asked them straight up, hey, okay, so you are a Christian band, right? And the dude's like, whoa, wait a minute, we're not a Christian band. And he's like, yeah, you are. You're a Christian band. You've been on tour with all these different Christian artists. You've been on all these different, like, things. You've been affiliated with all these different Christian artists and Christian music. What do you mean you're not a Christian band? And dude's like, we're a rock band, man. We're a rock band from South Carolina. You know, we wanted to put the first album out as being a Christian artist because we knew it would take, you know, we knew it would get us into the door. But now that we have, you know, now that we've blown up, we don't want to be labeled as a Christian artist anymore. We are Christian, but we don't want, our songs aren't about Jesus. Our songs aren't about God. And I was like, whoa, hold up. You know, so that's when I really learned. I mean, you know, there's stupid Facebook. There's plenty of, like, artists out here that are just, like, straight up trying to make a buck, you know? And they're not who they say they are. That's why you really, really got to be, like, asking God for discernment. And, like, if something don't feel right, listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get swayed by all this, you know, glitz and glam out here, because it's just for show. It's just for show, man. And they know what they're doing. They're trying to purposely lead people to hell, you know? And it's like some people, you know, like that one Christian rapper, Bryson Gray, I think is his name. You know, he makes a lot of music that is biblical. You know, it comes from the Bible, like, straight up. And he gets a lot of hate from a lot of people because he keeps it real at all times. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to, like, tell you the truth, you know? And so right now he's been making a lot of posts, you know, and trying to get people to be aware of what you're listening to, the people that you're following out here, this music and stuff, regardless if it's Christian rap or if it's, you know, Christian country music or whatever it is, like that Jelly Roll guy. Just because he put a song out with Brandon Lake and he calls himself a Christian, he's not a Christian. I promise. He's not. He's lukewarm is what he is, okay? He doesn't, like, I'm not saying we gotta be perfect, because I know there's times where I struggle too with a lot of stuff. But I'm not married, and if I was, you best believe I wouldn't be in an open relationship, okay? That is a big no-no. That is a huge no-no. Like, you know, when you become a Christian, you're supposed to surrender your old life to the feet of Jesus and ask him to take it from you. Period. And yes, I know that we all struggle with things and we, like, fall short of the glory of God. Every single person on this planet will do that, okay? But the key is to give up those demons daily if you have to. You know, we have to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. We have to pray to him. We have to talk to him. We have to ask him for forgiveness. We have to forgive other people. That doesn't mean that we say we're a Christian, but then in the same breath, we have an open marriage with our husband or with our wife, or we go on tour with known Satanists like 3-6 Mafia. Okay? Like, nah, you ain't fooling nobody, alright? You ain't fooling nobody. And smoking weed and doing all that crap every single day and drinking all that alcohol, nah, whatever. You can sit there and try to fool people all you want, but I see straight through them lies, bro. Like, whatever. That's why I get a lot of hate too, because I ain't afraid to call nobody out. We're supposed to be doing that. Like, that's biblical. Like, we are supposed to be calling people out on this. Because this ain't no joke, man. This ain't no joke. Time is running out. It's like, that's why I keep saying what I keep saying. You know, people get mad at me because I speak the truth. Like, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? They hated Jesus first. That's cool. You can hate me too. You know? I don't give two craps. Like, I'm not here for you to like me. Okay? None of us are here for us to be liked by the world. We're supposed to be set apart from the world. That's what it is to be a real Jesus follower. To be set apart. And to, like, wake people up to the truth so other people aren't going to hell. Like, you know, I don't want to see nobody go to hell. That's why I make the videos that I make constantly and put them on YouTube and stuff. Because I'm trying to, like, wake people up. And yes, Todd, you're right. I do pray for them. I do. You know, there's a lot of people I've been cut off. Not just on my Facebook, but out of my life. Like, out of my phone and all kind of stuff. I pray for every single one of those. Every single day. You know? I really do. And especially when they pop in my head. Like, there's like 3 or 4 people that constantly be popping in my head. Like, almost 24/7. And every single time they pop in my head, man, I pray for them. Because I don't know what they're doing. You know, I cut them off for a reason. Because they're toxic. I had to. You know, they ain't good people. But I still pray for them because that's what I'm commanded to do. Do I think I'm better than them? No. I'm willing to admit, you know, I do admit I struggle with all kinds of stuff every single day. But the thing is, I don't give in to that temptation because I know where it took me before. It's going to take me right down that rabbit hole that I don't want to go to, straight to hell. Like, nah, man, I have fought tooth and nail to get where I am. And there ain't nobody and nothing that's going to get me separated from God again. But we just got to be doing better, man. We got to be really, really, really getting rid of our music. You know, amen to that. And you'll cut off more and more people. The closer to God we get, the more people we'll have to get rid of. And it sucks, you know, even people in our own family. I trust and believe. I know how hard it is. There's plenty of people in my own family I don't even talk to anymore. Mainly because I am a Christian. You know? And then other ones because they just be jealous of me for whatever reason. I don't even know why, but I pray for them anyway. But, you know, we really got to be paying attention to what we're watching, what we're filling our time with, like who we're hanging out with, you know, the movies that we're watching, the books that we're reading. You know, if it doesn't line up with scripture, we need to get rid of it. Like, straight up, we need to get rid of it. You know? So, I mean, going back to all of this stuff, more than likely, I'm going to be burning all of this, like, you know, because I don't need it, and it's just music, you know, it's a bunch of garbage, like, you know, there's so much music that, I mean, anybody who knows me, man, knows how much I love my music, and how much, you know, my music means to me, and, like, or how it used to mean to me, you know what I'm saying, and how, like, I was so, like, obsessed with it back in the day. I mean, anytime you saw me back in the day in, like, high school, I always had on a pair of headphones, pretty much, and I always had, like, mad music with me at all times, and there would be times where I'd be a loner and stuff, and I'd be, like, doing my own thing, but I always was, like, listening to my music, you know, and then there just got to be a point, you know, especially after Kevin died, and after I got sober, that I just, like, I realized that so much stuff that I used to care about, it don't even matter anymore. You know, it's just a distraction to get us away from Jesus, you know, and it is. And, like, the devil, he knows what he's doing. I mean, that's why, you know, when he was in heaven, that's why he was over music. You know, he knows exactly what he's doing. I hope you all have a great night. But, you know, we just gotta pay attention to what we're doing. Alright? Because it does matter in the end, is my point. It really does matter in the end. And, like, whatever, you know, it's just like these CDs. Some of these CDs, like I said, I don't know where the hell they came from. You know, some of them, I have no idea. I mean, okay, like, these, I know where these came from, because they came from my boy Matt. But some of these other ones, I have no idea who they are, where they came from. I'm guessing I got them from Manifest years ago. I have been looking some of them up, and some of them have been saying that they're labeled as a Christian band, but then when I look them up and I say, is such and such, are they Christian? It goes, well, no. A couple people might be Christians, but they're not a Christian band. And then it just sets me off, because I'm like, okay, well, you know, especially if they're on a Christian label, I'm like, why even do that? Like, you know, I don't know. I just think it's wrong. It's just to deceive us. That's why we really got to be paying attention to what we're watching, what we're reading, what we're listening to, who we're spending our time with, you know, like everything. There's so much deception out here, man. And we're getting to, like, the end, you know. I mean, we're already in the end times as it is. Lots of people, some people believe it. There's a lot of people that don't believe it. A lot of people think I'm crazy. I don't give a crap. I might be crazy. Who cares? So what? I wasn't put on this earth for you to like me anyway. You know, that's the way I see it. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, because, you know me, I'll start rattling off about incoherent, whatever, because I get sidetracked. But I hope you'll have a great night. Go do something nice for somebody tomorrow, regardless of what it is. Just tell people about Jesus. Go out and, you know, buy somebody a meal. Open the door for somebody and tell somebody thank you. Give somebody a hug. You know, if you see a homeless person out on the street, tell them you love them. You know, it starts with us. But I hope y'all have a great night. And I love you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. Alright, bye.